We didn't like, it was that's it. Like there was no one ever, and I think about it later on, I think about it now, I should say. Was it Tommy setting this up? Because who the fuck ever gets kidnapped or broken glass like that? Like, was that his sick fucking thing to get rid of me, maybe, to start a new life? And I think back now, fucking could be. Because anybody's capable of anything, obviously, okay? We all thought fucking Sammy went and rat. Biggest rat in the world. But that was my first incident of like somebody physically picking me up and fucking bringing me, and I've had it many since, to, okay, lock that door. I was going, within a second, if I didn't lock that door, you know?
Take a ride in the life of Jack Colucci, who first experienced death at the age of 5 years old when his father was murdered by Gambino family consigliere, Salvatore Sammy the Bull Gravano. It wasn't until 25 years later, when Sammy admitted in open court, that he learned who actually killed his father. For the next 30 years, Jack has life-changing moments that can only be told through his own words. You too will see. You truly don't know Jack.
Tommy now and my mother take us from Brooklyn, and we go into we have this big house out in Staten Island they built. And in Staten Island, we moved out there. My first, this is when I tell you that something came over me, all right? My first incident of physically hearing these voices or this feeling, right? I'll never forget. We just moved out to Staten Island. And my sister is in school. Now picture the scene. It's raining. I stay home from school that day. My mother's gonna go and get soup, she says. My sister's in school. Tommy does his thing. He goes to Brooklyn every day. We just moved to Staten Island. We didn't have streets in front of the house. So we were there only maybe a couple of months, trying to start a new life. And my mother goes, I'm gonna go get you soup at the store. I'll be right back. And I'm upstairs. I'm actually playing my G.I. Joe's football. I used to make them play like football. And she goes. Now, the scene is, I'm on the second floor, and we're in this brand new house. And out of nowhere, I'm playing my G.I. Joes, and all of a sudden, I just stop. I drop them. I'm like a fucking zombie. I'm turning around, and I'm finding myself. I walk all the way down the stairs to the front door. I look. I could smell the rain. It's pouring rain. There's no streets, but we had this green old Plymouth in front of the house that Tommy had brought from Brooklyn. They had their own cars. So now outside was an old car that Tommy brings, and I go to the door. And we had a screen door, with like a security screen door, like the metal with the screen. And I look like this, I look outside, and there's nobody outside, but when I look at the door, it's unlocked. And I lock the fucking thing, I turn around, I walk 2 steps away from the door, and all of a sudden I hear the door, I turn around, I'm fucking 8 years old, 7, 8 years. And there's a guy, he goes, now as soon as he says this, he says, your father told me to go, get the keys for the car. And I look, I says, he's going, your mother home? Your father? No, go open the door, because your father said I got to open. And I'm fucking frozen solid. I ain't even moving, okay? And I'm 5 feet from the door. And all of a sudden he starts screaming, open the fucking door. Now, we just got this, it was a Great Dane, Cleo, that was such a pussy, but now all of a sudden she was upstairs, didn't even come until this guy started with the dog comes running down the fucking stairs, and he takes off. I'm fucking frozen solid. I run to the phone and I call Frank Spinelli, the cop around the block. And I says to him, Frank, somebody just tried to break into the house. He comes running around the block with his gun. My mother's still at the store during this whole episode. And this is the weirdest part now. Like, he comes and then I see her come back. And she's puzzled why he's in there. But I look back now at her face, and it was something about that day that we never, ever spoke about that incident again. Like, we didn't, like, it was that's it. Like, there was no one ever, and I think about it later on, I think about it now, I should say. Was it Tommy setting this up? Because who the fuck ever gets kidnapped or broken glass like that? Like, was that his sick fucking thing to get rid of me, maybe, to start a new life? And I think back now, fucking could be. Because anybody's capable of anything, obviously, okay? We all thought fucking Sammy went and rat. Biggest rat in the world. But that was my first incident of like somebody physically picking me up and fucking bringing me, and I've had it many since, to, okay, lock that door. I was like, within a second, if I didn't lock that door, you know? I lived through this kidnapping as soon as we get there. I have a ton of friends in the neighborhood. Every one of them are petrified of Tommy. He'd come back. But now what's happening in Staten Island, since my mother is there, Tommy doesn't trust her. He's wheeling and dealing with new cars again, and he was dealing weed was his big thing. He would have fucking like hay bales of weed in the closets downstairs in the basement. Tommy, besides dealing the weed, they got into cocaine. And back in the 70s, they had the little jars with the screw-on bottle with the spoon. It was the coolest fucking thing you take, you know, right? And they used to keep them in the refrigerator. So I had to try it. Take a look. And at 10 years old, I remember, like, holy fuck, like, look at this feeling, you know? But I wasn't addicted to it. You don't get addicted at 10 years old. So I started drinking a little bit, beer, you know, now 10, 11, 12, 13 in Staten Island. But I'm actually back and forth still at, let's say from 10 to 13 is when I lived with my mother and Tommy in Staten Island. Up until now, again, that they break up. And Staten Island is no more. We would take the fucking guns, his fucking guns. We go downstairs, me and my friends, shooting the fucking guns. One time I'm almost scuffed. I get the gun. Now there's got to be about 6 or 7 of us. It's a 25 automatic. Now I'm first time I ever grab a gun. I cock the fucking gun and I shoot it first time into the fucking thing. And I go to think I gotta cock it again, but I don't cock it yet, and I'm playing around, and then I go to, and boom, it goes off. I was like, holy fuck. That second shot when it goes off, we hear Tommy open up the fucking front door. Jack, where's your mother? Well, Everybody ran out of a fucking hole this big. You've never seen 6 kids run through a fucking hole like this. Now I'm stuck there like this. I'm like, holy fuck. I put the gun I put the gun, I think, under the weed. Comes down. Did he come down? Or I came up. I ran up so he wouldn't smell the gun smoke. I run upstairs and he's in my face. Where's your mother? He was so fucking jealous at this point. They couldn't even, I don't think they went a month without wrecking and having like a most brutal fucking fight. And we would have this went on for years. My poor sister, what she lived through. I remember every day I had to like get up in the morning, Kathy, let's go to school, make an instant breakfast because these two were either partying and killing each other. And listen, they had some fucking crazy life, and I learned later on probably why. But for all in all, I have to say, you know, as crazy as it was kind of normal, you know. Tommy, if I wanted the kids in the neighborhood, we moved to Staten Island. A couple of kids had motorcycles. I wanted a motorcycle. He went and robbed the motorcycle and brought it back. So I guess he was trying to make up for certain things in life, you know. He's trying to be as normal as possible. Those are some good times, I have to say. As crazy as it sounds. Oh boy. You know, you got a little bit of the best of everybody came into Staten Island. The best of. Who the fuck knows? Yeah, I guess. Good people. There are some good people out of that crew. I'm now in the 5th grade. I'm like, I have my neighborhood friends, and then there's the school acquaintances. In school, now this is hilarious because he's been an acquaintance of mine up until a month ago. There was a scene. Is a friend of mine, Johnny Bird, okay? And John has been the same person. He's actually been all over the world with me. The same person since we're kids. So now, 5th grade, I'm in Mr. Fevelo's class, which Mr. Fevelo loves me. I got another good story about that, his class. But Johnny's in the next class. Now, my first girlfriend, now after moving from Brooklyn and all those girls, the other girl, my first girlfriend is this girl, Raquel Savage. Prettiest girl in the school, braces, adorable, but I'm 5th grade. I can't have a girlfriend. It's like, you know, we're he-men, you know? And she wanted to kiss me after class, and she kissed me, and you better be my boyfriend. And I went over her house a couple of times on a sneak, and now I'm like, I have to either shit or get off the pot. You're either gonna be my boyfriend, and everybody's gonna know it, or I'm gonna go with Johnny. So I had to, you know, listen, let's go with Johnny, okay? You're gonna have to, I'm sorry. She ends up what they end up doing, having whatever. Up until a couple of months ago, does John still say, I stole Jack's girlfriend, his first girlfriend, which it's hilarious that I've never told him, John, you know, like I don't put people in their place. I let them hang themselves. That's what I do. You fucking can hang yourself as hard as you want. I ain't saying a word. For some reason, and again, I never fucking put a medal on my chest, but everybody, Jack, you're the toughest guy in school. You're the toughest. You know, we used to box a little bit in the basement. And I guess I would knock everybody. Louis. I love Louis Galata. But his father was like a big boxer, and Louis was like this is the first time I knew I could really fucking throw hands at like a young age and bang Louis up a little bit. And we never did it again until I had 1,000 street fights later on. But in class one day, it's like a snowstorm outside, but it gets hot. It was a snowstorm in the morning or something. It gets hot in the afternoon, and we have all the windows open in the classroom. And a couple of like 8th graders are outside, they made snowballs, and they throw it in the fucking window. And it hits, as we're sitting there, it hits a girl, boom, right in the fucking head. Mr. Fellow, look, the kids are, he starts running, come on, Jack, let's go. I'm in 5th fucking grade. I gotta go chase 8th graders now with the teacher, which I'm actually fucking running faster than him. And we catch the 2 8th graders and we brought them to like justice or whatever. We brought them back to the fucking thing. But from like 5th grade, I had to like start backing people up, you know what I'm saying? And knowing, all right, you know, it was funny. Like if that was a big change in my life of really becoming to know the person that I'm probably gonna be. Here's another Tommy Spiro incident, okay? This time it got a little fucking, this is when you know it was coming to the end, where my mother is, see, I'm a loyal person when it comes to knowing right from wrong. When you come home from school and your mother and her girlfriends have got all the construction big guys in having coffee, what do you think they're fucking doing? What would you be doing? Okay? So immediately I'm like uncomfortable knowing that Crazy Tommy would fucking kill her, and she know it too. So you're jeopardizing my my life almost, I guess, because when he comes home and now he's got the gun, where's your mother? What did she do today? Who is she with? And you can't do anything about it, like, you know what I'm saying? I can remember shit like that with Tommy, where that was probably towards the end of their anything of happiness, okay? When jealousy and I guess drugs really overcame that relationship. And at that point, it got where they couldn't live with each other. My mother goes, we actually run away from Tommy. She gets the balls to run away from Tommy, and we go hide in Howard Beach now. Me, my sister, my mother are in Howard Beach, and we have an apartment. And ironically, the apartment that we're living in, across the street is another apartment building, and my mother's 5th husband is really the guy across the street who I got an eye for his wife, who we have no idea. We don't even know each other then. My mother don't know him. Turns out to be her 5th husband years later. So many years later, like 30 years later. And, but that's just a little side note. Now we're living on 96th Street in Howard Beach, around the block from my Aunt Rose. Tommy's trying to find us. They're not with each other, okay? They're fighting all the time. And the next thing you know is Tommy's back now living in Howard Beach. Like, my mother took him in. So now, I guess, I don't know, I can tell you the truth, it's the funniest thing is I have no idea whatever happened to that house in Staten Island, how it was sold, did they just fucking run away from it? I have no fucking clue on how we left that big house. Next thing I know, because I'm back with my grandmother, really. I'm just living at my grandmother's house back in Brooklyn.